When you see most off-grid solar tours, they're always showing off some brand new, shiny system, right? Well, this explainer, this is different. We're going to dig into what really happens after a system has been living and breathing in the real world for 3 straight years.
And that right there is the key. We're not talking about numbers on a spec sheet or some perfect lab setup. This is the real deal. 3 years of dust, heat, cold, and constant daily use. It's time to get past the slick marketing, you know?
So yeah, the big question isn't just, hey, is it still on? No. We need to go deeper. We want to know how it's aged. Where are the little performance leaks? What are the ticking time bombs that might have developed over, more than 1,000 days of non-stop operation?
Okay, so let's be clear. This isn't your average tour. Think of it more like a diagnostic. We're switching gears from a simple look at this to a full-on deep dive investigation into the actual health of this system.
And this really gets to the heart of it. You see, most tours will just list off the gear and say, yep, it works. What we're doing is totally different. We're going to measure its real output against what it should be doing. And maybe even more important, we're going to figure out why it's not hitting that original number.
All right, let's start where all the magic begins, the solar panels themselves. I mean, these things are out in the elements 24/7. So how are they really holding up?
And this is the question that really matters. We're not just checking if they're making power. Of course they are. We're comparing what they're putting out today to their original factory rating, under the same kind of sun, to see exactly how much they've degraded.
See, the thing is, it's not usually one big thing that fails. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's this slow buildup of dust, the constant stress of getting hot, then cold, day in and day out, and even these tiny, invisible micro cracks that you never see with the naked eye. All that stuff adds up, and pretty soon you've got a real measurable drop in power. We're talking maybe 10, even 15%, a loss you'd never even notice just by looking at it.
Okay, so from the panels, that power travels down to the real brains and heart of the operation, the charge controller and the battery bank. And let me tell you, this is where a lot of systems start to quietly lose their punch over time.
The charge controller, its whole job is to squeeze every last drop of power out of those panels. But doing that creates heat. So after 3 years, what happens? Dust gets caked onto its cooling fins, it starts running hotter, and it just gets less efficient. It might only be a tiny percentage, but that's a little bit of energy you're losing every single day.
Now, your batteries, they're probably not going to just up and die on you one morning. It's not that dramatic. Instead, they fade. They just slowly, quietly lose their ability to hold a full charge. It happens so gradually you might not even realize it until one day you're like, hey, why are my lights dimming so early?
So what's actually happening inside the battery? Well, a huge part of it is something called internal resistance. The easiest way to think about it is like electrical friction inside the battery. As it gets older, that friction gets higher. And what does that mean? It means more of your precious stored energy just gets wasted as heat instead of actually powering your coffee maker or your laptop.
Yeah, it's really a battle on multiple fronts. The battery just can't hold as much juice as it used to. It's less efficient at delivering the power it does have, and the voltage can start to sag and get unstable when you put a heavy load on it. This is the exact reason why a system that used to last you all night now suddenly conks out after just a few hours.
Okay, now we're moving on to the gear that takes all that DC power from the batteries and turns it into the AC power that runs your house. And after 3 years, this is where we shift from just talking about performance issues to talking about some really serious safety risks.
Your inverter is an absolute workhorse, but it's not made of magic. Just like the charge controller, its biggest enemies are dust and heat. So if you start noticing it's running way hotter than it used to, or it suddenly shuts off when you turn on the microwave, those aren't just glitches. Those are early warning signs that the components inside are getting old and seriously stressed out.
All right, now let's talk about the one part of the system that most people completely ignore, right up until the moment something starts to smell like it's burning. It's a terrifying chain reaction, and it starts with something so simple, a terminal, a connection that's just a little bit loose. That tiny bit of looseness creates electrical resistance. Resistance creates heat, a lot of intense, focused heat. And that heat can literally melt the wire's insulation, cause it dangerous arc, and before you know it, you've got a fire. It is a deadly, step-by-step process.
So after looking at all these ways a system can degrade or fail, it's pretty clear we need to change how we think about this. You have to stop being just a user of the system and start being a diagnostician.
This right here, this is your new mental checklist. You need to be asking these questions all the time. Is my system performing the way it was designed to? Where are the hidden energy leaks?
And, probably the most important one, when was the last time I physically put a wrench on every single connection to make sure it's tight and clean?
And that really is the main takeaway here. Building an off-grid solar system, that's just day one. The real game, the path to real success, is maintaining that system for long-term, rock-solid reliability. It's not a project you finish, it's a process you live with.
And let's end with this one last, absolutely critical piece of advice. Never, ever assume a wire is safe just because you flipped a switch to off. In a solar system, there is always energy somewhere. The panels are always hot during the day, and the batteries are holding a massive, massive charge. So after 3 years, what's the real lesson? It's that safety isn't optional, and you can never, ever let your guard down.